So, everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. I know we are 2 weeks out from convention and also 2 weeks out from the festival, and I'm excited. I'm also really tired, but I'm mainly more excited than I am tired. And I cannot wait to see you guys' lovely faces, your students' smiles on their face, their excitement. So, I'm overall just really just like, oh, all that's making me happy. Um, so, I want to cover three things today. Um, and then after that, of course, I'm going to open up the floor for us to ask any questions, any things that you have for Jerf, Harry, Jack, and I. And then I will upload this. Well, I'll get this video over to Jerf for him to post it into the Google Drive so that you can go back and look at it for those who were not able to be here today. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is catering because that is um, the the document. I just put it in the chat for those who need to see it. And also, I will send it over to Jer for him to include that in the Google Drive as well. Um, this is Ashland Catering. This is actually the in-house catering at the Lyric. Um, we were looking at other food options around the area because there is a university literally next door to the Lyric. They kind of have a little bit of a monopoly in that area when it comes to kind of restaurants. So we had to go with the option of using the Lyric, and and that way you don't have to worry about trying to load your kids back on a bus, take them to go get food, and then have to worry about all that. I negotiated something for y'all for it to be about $14 a lunch. It's not only called a lunchbox, but like a good meal for your students. And they even have, if you look at the document, it even has some of their gluten-free options and a vegetarian option as well, or a vegan option. So I did try to cover as much as the basis as I could on that for y'all. Please look at it and decide what would be better for your students if y'all need to do that. Just a reminder that the Lyric does not allow outside food, so this is just an option for y'all. um I do not know if we're going to do, because they have an option where you can do Lord, what's the word, concessions. So I don't know if we're going to do concessions because that's going to be something I would have to talk to Jack about, but that's not going to worry about y'all. This is mainly focused for just your students. And your students will be able to eat downstairs in the Lyric. I don't know if y'all saw the pictures that Jerf has gave y'all about like how the Lyric is looked. Looks like there's like a cafeteria kind of, I don't want to say restaurant, but like a seating area downstairs. So you'll have plenty of places to be able to eat and not have to worry about that. And those type of things. If you know you have a student, and I think there was one teacher who reached out to me, told me their student has like strict dietary issues, you need to let me know. Because I might have to ask for like special permission for that one child. I cannot do that for everybody because, like I said, the Lyric has very strict rules around that. But I do want to make sure that if you do have children who have or students that have any type of like health issues that might require them to have a different type of meal option, I want to at least be able to let the Lyric know that, hey, this person's bringing in a cooler for their child because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor real quick if there's any questions about the menu that the venue is offering us, and then after that we'll move on to our next thing.
So this option we can bring into the Lyric
No,
or
this
no?
is the option that the Lyric is offering for you.
Okay. So so this menu Lyric is offering and there's no issues bringing that inside.
This is going to be offered inside of the Lyric.
Okay.
Like the Lyric
Cool.
has their own catering in there. And they
Awesome.
use this catering for other big names that comes to that because the I don't know if y'all know the Lyric. Baltimore is their music slash performance venue, and they have this option already in there for their celebrities. So they're just working something out for us as well. And then since we're only in there for 2 days, we have a 1 day lunch option and then a second lunch option, and then they also offer you a cold lunch option for those who don't want something heavy on their stomachs.
Do we,
And it's open from 12 to 7. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Do we pre-order?
Yes, you will pre-order this.
Okay.
And we're going to, they're asking that if you do happen to pre-order, please have your order in by Friday. You don't have to pay by Friday. They just need to make sure that they have the right amount made ready to go for your school. So like for instance, Bob Jones, if you have 60 lunches you want to order, you would go ahead and order that, and then you could come the day of. I think that's what she told me, come the day of. I will clarify and make sure, but she just wants to make sure that you put the order in before they go ahead and start, bulk buying that stuff. Any other questions?
Pete is asking how you pre-order.
I'm gonna go back right now in my email and check to see what Elise said, because I think she said that you can pre-order just by sending in your list. Yes, she's going to give me a link on tomorrow for you to pre-order. So that information will go out to y'all. But she just wants you to see the menu first, which I understand what she's saying. She wants to see the menu first, or we need to go back and negotiate any type of food issues with that.
Beth, do they stand by that clear bag rule? I'm on the Lyric website right now.
Yes, they do. They do stand by that rule. If you are performing, like you guys are part of the festival, you're not coming in as a attendee just to watch the show. That does not apply to you, the clear bag rule. The clear bag rule only applies to your parents that are coming to see the shows. They will need to make sure they have that. Because a lot of y'all are bringing book bags and suitcases for your show. So they understand it, because they did a cheer team actually earlier this month, earlier in February, where they had their cheer bags and it wasn't an issue for them. So that policy does not apply to y'all. Thank you, Sarah, for asking. I think that was Sarah who asked that question.
What about chaperones? And what about student when we're going to see someone else's show?
All right, hold on. We're okay. Hold on. Let's get back to catering. Make sure first before we get into that. So hold on, Michael. Okay. I want to make sure I cover catering first. Is there any other questions about catering?
Yes, Beth, you said we needed to pre-order by Friday.
Yes.
You mean this Friday?
Yes.
Thank you.
And y'all will get that link tomorrow. So I guess go ahead and show this menu to your students, have them look over it, decide what you're going to put your order in for, and then you'll get the link to do so.
And
right,
then,
so yes.
And then when we put the order in, then are we all going, like, am I bringing all of my Jamestown students at one time and saying, okay, we're here to pick up Jamestown's order, or are the kids just going and paying their like, am I going to put it on my card the day of the whole thing, or are they just paying $14, $14?
That is an option for you at your school. Do you want your students? I know some teachers told their students to bring money for food.
Yeah.
And some teachers are paying for their food ahead of time. So I don't know what your school is, your school system is, but when you do your pre-order, you can actually ask her, can my students just, I'm pre-ordering 20 lunch boxes. Can my students come downstairs and say, I am from the Harvey Jones school. I'm here to pay for my lunch. And then you can do it that way. So, I will, like I said, when I find out what the link, because she's going to give me the link portal for the pre-orders, I can ask her that individually. Do the students need to bring the money to pick it up, or do they need to, teachers need to pay first? So I can find that out for you. So thank you, James, for asking that question.
You may want to ask if they're allowed to, in terms of like pre-ordering catering, restaurants may not want to like do something without a purchase order, something that's signed from the school. Just throwing that out there, you may want to ask them if they'll allow teachers to get a signed purchase order and submit that.
Okay.
In lieu of paying up front, because then they'll pay with like a school card that's attached to a purchase order. I don't know if anybody else's school systems have to deal with that and purchase orders and all that process, but
if it's purchase order only, we can't do that. Bob Jones can't anymore. That ship sailed. We had to have all purchase orders in by last Friday.
Oh,
so I hope that they'll take money as they come. But yes, it's always easier just to be able to pay after if the school will let you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I did tell her these things. I told her that some of y'all had very strict regulations on on that, so that I asked her to be more flexible, because I know that's not, some venues are not flexible when it comes to that. So she did say that she would work with us. So I just need to make sure after this meeting, whatever I need to bring to her, I want to make sure. So I will ask about the purchase order. I will ask if the students can pay at the cashier desk, or at the register. And then if y'all need to pay like either a check or a card. I asked her if we could do a check instead, because I know some people could just, the school sometimes give you a certain amount of money for your per diem. So I wanted to just kind of be flexible with that. So I'll ask her those three things to make sure. Any other questions about catering?
Donnie, I'm not sure what you mean in we do not when traveling with a card.
If we've got a card, we don't have to have a purchase order. We just use the card.
Got it.
So purchase orders like ahead of time, and you would have to bill us with an invoice, and then you have to, all of it has to be attached to that purchase order. So if we've got a school card, I could just go in and swipe it and pay.
Okay.
One of our big things here locally, our civic center will only take cash. I mean, only take card. It's a cashless facility. Like, it doesn't take cash at all. So I guess what we need to know is, will the Lyric take cash and Apple Pay and card, or is it cashless?
Got you. I will check.
Their website says cashless, but I don't know if that applies to the festival.
Yeah, and that's what I want to make sure, because that's applied to their concessions, and that's what they have, because it get crazy in there. So, but I will see about their Apple Pay option, their card, or if they could take cash for the student. Do we feel pretty confident on this option here? Okay, we're gonna go on to the next thing then. I want to talk about galas. So the gala, we are not going to do assigned seating. What we're going to do is, because I thought about it and I talked to my team about it, we're going to do what you guys suggested last time, which was to do that everybody, the school that comes in first will go all the way to the front, and we will start going filling in that way. And then that way that could guarantee that you have enough seating. We do have right now seating for that room up to 900. I think we're going to be right at that number pertaining to everybody, pertaining to their chaperones, students, teachers. So we shouldn't have an issue with seating. Please understand, everyone, that it is a dessert party. There is no heavy hors d'oeuvres. It's just desserts like cookies and cupcakes and brownies. It's like that. So please feed your students before the gala. Jack and Harry, did we determine the gala was going to be an hour early or 30 minutes early this year? Do you remember the time?
7:30.
7:30
Yeah,
is
7:30. 7:30 to 8:30 is like awards, correct? And then 8:30 on is the dance.
Right, till 11.
The whole thing said 8 to 11. So something starts at 7:30? Eek. We made huge reservations for a restaurant and have already paid several $1,000s thinking that we could be there by 8.
Yeah, I don't think it means that we're a hard start. Ceremony starts at 7:30. It's like people start coming in, mingling, etc. Because they can only, there's a limit to the number of hours we're allowed to have that room. Is that correct, Jack?
That's correct.
But the awards will start at 8.
I will make sure we start at 8.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
we
that's
won't
fine.
start
We
the
don't want to miss the
formal,
awards.
because I don't know that honestly the award ceremony part is going to take more than 30 to 45 minutes
right.
max. And I'm not going to talk a lot, so or I'll try not to at least.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, is that okay, Jack and Beth, that we kind of give, because if we're going to need at least that much time if we're talking about that many bodies getting into a room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's your party, so
yeah.
Okay.
You start
it's the divisional party, so I want the teachers to tell me what they want. But yes,
yeah.
if we're good with like saying that the actual formal ceremony awards part will start at 8, is that okay with everyone?
And then seating at 7:30.
Yeah, we'll start seating at 7:30.
We open house at
Open the
7:30 and
doors.
show goes at 8.
Yeah.
There you go. Half-hour call.
So,
Okay.
and the reason we're doing this, just so everybody understands, Baltimore's is a very sincere union city. And there are very, very strict rules that we're having to deal with that we've never had to deal with before, all the way down to if you're in the convention center and you want to have a meeting in a room, they set the chairs. And if you want to move the chairs, we have to let their union know so they can move that chair. Yeah, so it's fun.
I don't know who Mr. P is, but I can ask again. When Stephen and I, oh, hey, Chris. So when Stephen and I had a conversation with the Renaissance, that's where your gala is going to be at, your awards gala. We were talking about doing some gluten-free options for the students, but I could see about the nut allergies too about that. Okay, I'll look into that.
To go back to the clear bag issue, we don't need clear bags. So if you've got like the SETC badge, chaperone students, we don't need the clear bags. It's just the people that are buying like the block tickets, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Do the desserts happen before or after the awards?
Before.
No.
Before? Did it?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's fine.
It's okay. Did y'all want them to
But
have
it-
it after awards? Did you want?
Well, I mean, I also feel like it can keep going during. It should feel like a party and not
Yeah.
we're all sitting down for a formal like don't move while we're giving out awards. I don't feel like that. I mean, how do y'all feel about that, teachers?
I feel like a level of formality for the awards is necessary, earned, and would be lovely to have.
Okay, so you don't want any dessert served during the award ceremony.
If it's served on the way in, I think that's cool. But I also think that if folks are walking up and down, up and down, up and down, going to get it, then during the ceremony, I think that's a little weird.
Okay. Is there a way, Beth, that we can like stop
We can put a pause
service
on it.
or and then resume service after the ceremony finishes?
I would
Yeah, we
have to
just
check
need to
and
let their
see.
staff know.
Yeah, we have to check with their staff.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. So, since
I
we're
guess a
starting,
plan B option would be just not to serve dessert, like open that up
Until
until
after.
after the ceremony's over.
okay,
So it'd be like desserts and dancing.
okay. So that means technically desserts won't open up until about 8:45, 9 o'clock.
Is that okay?
I think closer to 8:30.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, not that I'm going to rush through the ceremony by any means, but I don't feel like it's gonna take that long.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it will. I think 30 to 35, maybe 40 at the most.
Okay.
So also, is this going to be like a buffet style like it was last year, or are people going to come and serve?
It'll be buffet style.
So would it be crazy to say that we come in, we get our seats, then we're called to get our desserts, and then the awards can start? Because a lot of times people are going to want to go ahead and leave afterwards if, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to, I guess we're all just trying to wrap our heads around it. Like, is there a reason to not do the desserts first?
Well, if some folks are not going to be getting there until almost 8 o'clock and you want to start the awards at 8 o'clock, some people aren't going to be getting things, and then you are going to have that rush to the tables and so forth. So,
I mean, tomato, if it's, dessert from 8 to 8:30 and awards from 8:30 to 9, or if it's dessert or awards from 8 to 8:30 and then dessert from 8:30 to 9, tomato, whichever way everyone wants to go. I think if the awards are only going to be 30 minutes, and it'll probably only take 30 minutes for the kids to get their dessert, if it's buffet style, then whichever way you want to go.
I attended last year. In all honesty, I thought it was being served throughout the entire event. I didn't see where it interrupted things that much. My biggest complaint was my kids had to stand the entire time because we didn't get seats. So I would like to see that addressed before when we eat a dessert or not, honestly.
Yeah, and that's already been addressed. We're already going to, I mentioned that earlier, was that we're going to have seating for 900 individuals. That includes your chaperones, teachers, and students. And we're going to do front seating all the way leading back to the back. So whoever comes in first will be all the way in the front and we will fill in accordingly. So yes, there will be tons of seating. You're welcome. So Jack, I guess me and you will talk to Stephen and talk to the hotel again about how could we do the dessert situation, and I will just we'll just send out another email saying this is what the dessert situation is going to be like for the gala.
Yeah, I think Beth, we just need to see what they can even provide as options. Is like we can debate this all night, but like if they have certain restrictions on how they can handle it, we need to know, and then we can go from there.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk with them.
Yeah, we will definitely talk with them. We have a meeting with them soon anyway, so that's perfect. And I will check with the nut allergy and the celiac allergy as well for Mr. P. I thought I saw somebody else.
I had a question about we're seating at tables, correct?
Yes.
So in terms of filling in, there will be X number of tables that will have more than one school, presumably.
Yes, the tables sit up to 8 to 10 people at a table. We're trying to do 10 to a table, and a lot of you guys have pretty much even numbers when it comes to, when I'm looking at the registration, you seem like you have pretty much even numbers, except for like 2 schools, I think, that has a little bit of an odd number, but we can finagle that.
I just want people to be aware of it.
Oh, thank you, Jerv. I appreciate that. Okay. Everybody feels good about that? Is there any other questions about the gala? So just remember 7:30 is when we open up the doors. You come in, we'll fill you in from front to back. 8 o'clock, Harry will infamously entertain you for 35 minutes on awards. And then after that, your students will be able to have their little dance off in the middle of the dance floor. There will be plenty of space for them to dance on the dance floor for them, and even some side on some places on the side as well. We will have a step and repeat kind of thing in the corner, so that after you get your awards, we're asking that you slide off to the side with your awards and take a picture, because we want to capture everybody before people start heading on out to either go back to the hotel rooms or go get food. So just remember that after, and all that excitement, after you get your award, slide on down, and then we'll take your picture, and then you go back to your table. And then the gala will be done at 11 o'clock. So 10:45, you're going to start rising up the lights. And then we're going to be letting y'all all head back to the hotel. Okay, so is there any more questions about the gala? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and move on. So for those who heard me earlier, when we first started the meeting, I said that we'll be in Chattanooga for next year. So the dates are March the 3rd through the 7th, 2026. So I know some of y'all need that information now so you can start planning, especially not only for your state level conference, convention or festival, you also need to plan if you do happen to advance. So I just want to go ahead and put that information out there now so you know we'll be in Chattanooga. And a part of okay, so that part is done. The other part I want to bring to the table is parking. So I've had conversations with multiple different parking garages in the city of Baltimore, and the city it's interesting how they do their parking situation there. So I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can from what they gave me, and I will see if I can get them give this to me in writing. So for parking, this is how they break it down: $30 a day, and that's day parking, and then it's $40 at night for overnight parking, which means it equals to $70 a day. So based off of my calculations, if if you're coming in on Wednesday and leaving on Sunday morning, then you should be paying a total of $280. Did I count that right? There's no taxes or anything added into parking. Let me make sure my math is correct.
Is this for buses?
Yes, it's for bus parking. And this is actually the parking garage that is across the street from the convention center. You will basically park your car there. If you're staying at the Sheridan or if you're staying at the Renaissance, you will drop your students off at your hotel and then you will just park your bus there. I have tried, and Jack knows because I have been calling and doing meetings with them. I have tried to negotiate this further down. This is what they are offering us. They are not going to come down. So there's nothing else I can do about that.
Two questions, Beth.
Yes.
Is that the same rate for a truck and a trailer?
Yes.
And are those two items or one item?
There are two. You mean like a bus and a truck is considered two? Is that what you're saying?
No, but if I am having a truck with a trailer that I'm pulling, am I considered the same as a bus or a box truck?
Now they didn't say anything about that. I can ask again, but they didn't mention anything about that being considered as two separate vehicles or one vehicle total. So
I think it should be one because it's going to take up a bus type space.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it is one, Sheriff.
Yeah.
But
okay.
We'll check on it. That makes sense. But
and this is for the hotels and convention center. What is the situation at the Lyric?
I thought you already had that information delivered to them. Do I need to go ask Jamie again?
I don't have details. I forwarded to you what I found, which is they have a preferred lot, which is right behind the Lyric for cars, but oversized vehicles have to use a different lot, which is near, closer to the train station, which is only like 4 blocks away, I think. I will go find that information again, and I will put it in our group chat. I don't know what the rates are for that, though I can try to find that out.
Yeah, because I didn't get any information more on that. They were telling me that was something else. I said, oh, okay. But I wanted to make sure y'all at least had I was more worried about overnight parking for y'all than I was worried about anything else because y'all have to be able to park your buses in your U-Haul somewhere. So yeah. Trucks would
Mary, I don't know. I'll have to find out
about
what the charge is for that lot. And if it's an hourly or a day charge. And when you say set trucks, are you talking like a 10-foot box truck? What is a set truck?
Like a 26-foot rider moving truck.
Okay. That's going to probably have to go to that other lot. So
okay. What's the distance like walking? What's the distance walking between that lot and the Lyric? Do you know?
The truck lot?
Mm-hmm.
I do not know. I just have a name. I didn't have an address, so I'll have to find that out.
Okay, thank you.
It may be an Uber ride. Yes, Michael, I will do that. And Colton, yes. School vans, meaning like a 15-passenger van?
Yeah, we'll have 2 15-passenger vans.
Okay.
Yeah, we could definitely give you that information on that. So I guess Jerf, you need to meet sometime tomorrow and see how we could team tackle this and get it done.
Absolutely. Whenever it's convenient. I will be at a car shop all day tomorrow. So yeah.
Okay. But just remember, y'all, that at the Lyric, they do have where you guys can unload your students off your bus without having any issues about that. So and you won't have to worry about police doing anything. So you're pretty much set at the Lyric. And then at the overnight parking garage, they have surveillance. They have a security guard there, so you don't have to worry about that as well. But we will. They did tell me to let y'all know this: is please do not have any personal items in your buses. That's I guess that's just a standard thing. So I just want to bring that to y'all. But yeah, we can definitely give you a map and some information on the rates and that kind of stuff like that. But that is just like I said, I wanted to let y'all know ahead of time so you could get your mind wrapped around that. Um, and then the last thing that I want to discuss with you guys is we're going to offer you a dance session on Saturday. Right now, I'm trying to find a location in the convention center to do this because we are, of course, the theme this year for our gala is hairspray, and we want to do You Cannot Stop the Beat, kind of like a little flash mob at the awards gala. I know I'm so corny for that, but I thought it would be so cute for the kids to be able to do that. So we're going to offer a session on Saturday. It's going to probably be after your feedback session. And Harry, I think your feedback session and your division meetings at the same are like back to back, right?
They're back to back. Yeah, the first part of that is feedback session about the festival. The second part is division meeting, which we need to clarify are very different things.
Yes. Thank you. I just want to make sure I worded that correctly. I appreciate that. So after your two sessions that you guys will have with Harry, we're going to, Andrew, thank you. We're going to move you or have your students come to the convention center, and then they can do their dance off there. I don't know if y'all wanted to, and I'm asking you now, so that if I need to go back and redo the schedule on this, please let me know. Do y'all want us to do it while you are in the feedback session? Do you want to have the students doing the dance off, and then you just pick up your kids on the way, and then y'all head out to enjoy the rest of Baltimore before the gala that night? Or do you want it as a separate, let them sleep in, and then have them come to the convention center? So I don't know what would be the better option for y'all. I need feedback on that. Is anybody saying anything?
So I'm looking at the if the times are in the app already for the meeting sessions. I believe isn't the feedback session from 9 to 10, and then from 10 to 11 is the division meeting.
I thought it was 8 and 9, but I won't.
Okay, I knew it was 1 hour for one for the other.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the feedback session right now, and it's 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Lovely.
So from 8 to 9 is festival. From 9 to 10 is division as an organization for SETC, not the festival talk. Like they're two different things.
Okay, is it something that
sometimes they bleed over
require the kids to? Sorry, do you want the? Is it something you're wanting to require the kids to come and do, or just offer as one of the options that are going on?
No, it's not a requirement. It's an option. So if I have a dancer that's coming up to do it on Saturday, and it's going to be during it's going to be, that's what I'm asking. Do you want it to be during your feedback and your festival and your division meeting? Like, so your students will already be there, or do you want it, because it's only going to be 1 hour, the whole dance session that she's going to be doing for y'all. So, but I wanted to check in with y'all first before I gave her a time to make it easier for y'all.
Yeah, I think 9 is probably better.
So 9 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not mandatory. It's up to you whether you want your students to participate or not. We're just going to play the song at the gala, and then they're going to dance to that cut of the music.
Yeah, that way, because I usually offer workshop sessions for my students at the convention center. I can put that as one of the options. And if they want to go, then they can go.
Okay. All right. Dance session for students. So I'm going to put it attentively at 9 to 10. Just tell them to, be ready to move basically what they will wear to dance. Well, I don't know what the students wear now and dance. I haven't teach school in 2 years now. So y'all know what the students should wear to dance or to dance rehearsal. during vision. Okay. So that was all of the things that I wanted to discuss. So is everybody registered for convention? Because I've been getting some emails about some people are still not registered yet. So I'm just trying to check in if I need to make some time this week to help people with registration. Deadline to pay invoices. If you, because we are 2 weeks out, we're asking that you send them in as soon as possible. And I can post the address again in the chat for everyone. But we're asking for that to happen as soon as you can. If you know that you cannot get it in before it's time for convention, you can bring the check to convention. You will need to see Jack. He's on this side of me, so I don't know where he's at on the screen for y'all. But Jack Benjamin, you will need to see him and give him the check. And he will be at the convention center. So if you want to, I would recommend that, and I know teachers, this is a lot for y'all, and I apologize, but I recommend that you send a responsible adult that you can trust to make sure that that check gets into his hand, or you come your own way to get that check if you still have not sent your check in yet. So that's what I recommend on that.
I will, excuse me, I will always have an assistant that will be around the convention center in case I'm not, because obviously I'm going to be running all over the city of Baltimore with various different events going on. But there will always be somebody at the registration table who will be designated as someone who can receive a check.
Beth, Donnie asked, I'm assuming if we used a card, payment has been processed at this point. Is that correct?
What? Say that again?
If they used a card to pay, that charge has been processed already, correct?
Yes.
And the mailing address is now in the chat.
Yes, the mail address is in the chat. And please
Michael,
put the Southeastern Theater Conference. I guess I need to put that in the chat as well.
dates for the convention next year are
March 3rd through the
7th,
2026, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And Mary, no. You're in a 4 block, and I'm still trying to figure out where I put you to make it work to not block the loading elevator. So yes, I will figure that out this week and I will let you know.
Beth, I have a quick question about checks.
Yes.
What is the last date that we should mail them as opposed to bringing them in person?
I like that.
Jack,
that's a post office question.
Yeah, that's a post office question. I can mail something from here across the city, and it takes longer than it takes to get to Greenville, South Carolina. I would say if you're a week out, don't mail it, bring it. Because, for instance, I don't even live in Greensboro, North Carolina. Our P.O. box is up there, and it gets sent to me, or now our bookkeeper will get it because she is in Greensboro. But so if you're a week out, if you send it sometime this week, fine. After Friday of this coming week, let's just bring it to the convention center.
Peter, you have a question about the chaperone fee refund?
Yeah, so I paid for my whole crew in full before we decided to give a different rate to chaperones, and I know that I sent in a refund form to get some of that money back, but I have not gotten any response. So or any follow up. So I just wanted to know, should I be doing something else, or is that being taken care of, or question mark?
Go ahead, Jack.
You want me to take that one?
Yeah.
We discovered this week that the refund forms that were being sent in have gone into internet hell. We don't know where it is. So if you have sent in a refund, send either myself or Beth, you can send it to either one of us, a copy of that refund request or just a request to one of us, and we will make sure that it gets taken care of. I was able to hire a bookkeeper about 3 weeks ago, and we're trying to get things together.
Okay, I'll just email you and Beth tomorrow and
Great.
Thank you, Pete. And yeah,
Sounds great.
yeah,
Yeah,
just let
yeah.
us know how because I think you did mention to me like a long time ago. I was trying to find it. But just tell me the number of chaperones the chaperones you paid for with the 150 price that we had originally, and then we can do the difference on that.
okay.
And I just want to be transparent about something. If you try to register now on through Ludus, because we are 2 weeks out from convention, is going to make you do a pay now option or a credit card option. I have received the email and I'm going to work with that person on their situation pertaining to their registration, but I'm just letting you know now. So if you know for sure that you have not registered yet, you need to contact me seriously, y'all, by tomorrow so that I can go ahead and schedule a meeting with you to figure out what we need to do to work on your registration. Because after Wednesday, I cannot do nothing else about that. That's it's out of our hands. We have to go by that policy. So I just wanted to like give you the opportunity now. If you need my help, please reach out to me so that I can assist you with that. But everybody should be registered, right? All right, good. That makes me happy that everybody's good. Okay.
Jennifer wants to know if you want a heads up if they're going to be bringing their check.
Yes, please. Thank you, Juniper. Yes, please, if you can. And then that way Jack knows he needs to keep an eye out for you. So my schools that are performing on Thursday, Jerf will be with you when you're doing your tech. I will go to the convention center and go get your badges for you and your students. Everybody else who is in the afternoon session, please head over to the convention center, center trustee adult, to go pick up the badges for you. But I think it's like 3 schools, Jerf, if I'm correct, that's performing in the morning session, or is it 2?
It's 2 on Thursday.
Okay, the 2 schools, I will pick it up. I'll pick that up for y'all, so that y'all don't have to worry about that. So you just focus on your tech and everything else. Yes, you can pick up badges on Wednesday evening. Registration on Wednesday closes at 8. So if you know you're not going to make it before 8, then just wait until Thursday.
Is it possible for me to pick it up, or will that create more trouble? Like, can I pick it up for teachers? Okay, that's probably a bad idea then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for offering. But yeah, someone has to sign off for them.
Gotcha. No problem.
Michael, you had a question 20 minutes ago?
No, it was answered. Though I do have the question as to how early can we get our materials on Wednesday? Because we're coming in Wednesday morning, and we're planning on doing whatever events are happening during the day.
Registration on Wednesday, I think we have it from 10 to 8. So you have time to pick it up because Wednesday's our first day of convention. So people are coming in. I just want to be transparent now because Wednesday's our first day, there's going to be a little bit of a line. So unless you have the patience to deal with that line, that's fine. But we will have registration open and you can go in there and get your packet that way. I just know some people are coming in late. It's Wednesday night and I don't want them to stress trying to send somebody over to registration while they're in the lyric. So
what time is registration on Thursday? What time does it close?
8 to 8. And then Friday it should be 8 to 8 again. And then Saturday it should be, I think it's 10 to 5 or something like that? Or is it different, Jack?
Yeah, it's 8 in the morning until 1 o'clock is
Okay.
probably the best. While I have you, if you're going to be bringing a check, would you just drop me an email and let me know that you're bringing a check so that, and approximately when you think that check may arrive at the registration center so I can and make sure that there is somebody there that's picking it up. And that would be jack@setc.org.
Okay. One more thing, and like I said, I'm gonna open up to questions. Uh, Social media. I am going to be sending out a social media blast of your posters of your production flyers that you sent me. So you'll see that throughout the SCTC page. If you are posting anything that's saying, "Hey, my school is going to SCTC," please include our at SCTC. That's literally what it is, and then include us in that so that we can have people see what shows are being performed. And you guys already have your show times in the schedule that Jerf has given you, so I have no problem with you guys tagging that in there. And just if you can, I'm trying to push out social media on our end. Please, if you can, push out social media on your end. And if you have any reels, because we're going to be using that for marketing on our YouTube channel as well as our social media for after convention to like advocate whatever we need to do to kind of boost and promote the secondary theater festival. So I would love for you to keep that ball rolling with communication that you have within your schools and your states. Whoever is Vernon High School, you have been talking to your people because your people have been messaging me, and I thank you so much because they are excited and they're talking so much about like what can we do, how can we help you, and I love that. So thank you, whoever school that is. But yeah, just wanted to let y'all know y'all will start seeing social media posts starting tomorrow all the way up to Friday of your poster. And then if you did send me a reel, I will have that up there. If you didn't, then that's okay. It's perfectly fine. Just post it on your page and just like I said, include SCTC in that in your little blurb. All right. So James, you had your question. You had your hand up, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you ask your question, and then like I said, I'll open up the floor to any other questions.
Jerf, can you walk me? It's written, I'm sure it's written really well. I'm just can't process my show is over and we clear into the freight elevator, and then what happens?
And then you turn around and walk about 25 feet to the rehearsal room where there will be a respondent to talk about what they saw with your show.
And then our stuff stays on the freight elevator, or I have like parents clearing it out while we're in the response?
Oh, that would be absolutely ideal to do that. I'm just trying to get it basically out of the way before you disappear to get some feedback about your show.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Beth, David has a question in the chat. And will we know our respondent, or is it random each show? That was not already asked. I think we are still signing up respondents for slots.
Yes, we are. And it will be a college professor from the schools that's coming to STC that will be assigned to your show.
And yes, there will be one that is talking to you.
Yes.
The 3 adjudicators will then be filling out their rubrics and doing the awards.
Yes. David, let me put my number in the chat. This is my cell phone number. Y'all can call me or text me. And David, if tomorrow, can you just shoot me a text? I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of things I have to do on my to-do list for tomorrow. If you can shoot me a text or call me real quick and we can go see if we can find your invoice, okay?
Yeah, that's no problem. I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah. But y'all won't need me anymore after, honestly, after Tuesday, when the convention starts, y'all won't need me. Harry and Jerf has you. They will be they will be your bread and butter on that. So y'all will be good. I helped you all the way up to this point, and after that, y'all are in their hands. All right, did we answer all everybody's questions or concerns or anything that? Okay.
I think it's my turn.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I have three things. I want to clarify spike tape. I have 5 or 6 colors of spike tape that I am going to make available to you. I was picking 4 in particular that were quite different from each other. Only one school has asked to pre-make their spikes and set them up in a special way because of the nature of the shifts with their set. And that is Bob Jones. And I have agreed to that. There's then been some confusion. Am I assigning spike colors to you? And the answer is no. If you have a particular spike color that your school has always used, let me know and I'll make sure that no other school in your block is using that color. But otherwise, I have spike tape ready to hand you before you start your tech period. Questions about that? Okay, 2 other things then. One is, yes, I would love your cue sheets by the 14th of this month. That will make sure that I have them and can make copies and take them with me before I leave for Baltimore. The second thing that I would like to ask you is if you could also send me any trigger warnings that you feel necessary to be announced for your show. I would also like those by the 14th so I can basically create a script for Harry in terms of actually announcing the shows.
Jerf, do you require both sound and light cues on that cue sheet?
No, I'm assuming that your stage manager is calling the cues. The reason to do the cue sheet for lights is to make your tech period go more smoothly and to make it easier to convey that information. So if we're all using the submasters, so it's limited, it's the same, and they'll fall into a routine about it. But I'm assuming people are basically, for the most part, running your own tech from backstage through QLab or a phone or a computer, and the person in the audience is basically simply adjusting volume for you.
Thank you for the clarification.
If you would like to have our tape ready ahead of tech time, can you explain what you mean, just cutting snippets of tape to be ready to spike with?
Yeah, like we like to bring our tape with us so that we don't have to rip it because the children can't rip the tape to save their lives. I know I'm not alone in this. So
yeah.
It was my understanding, and I don't know if it was others' understanding as well at the last meeting, based on what Bob Jones had asked, that I thought that we were going to be assigned our colors ahead of time so that we could go ahead and like have it ready.
You tell me what you want me to do. Do you want to be colors assigned and then you provide your own spike tape? So that
that was my I'm sorry, but that was my understanding too, because that's where I think the confusion got when I put into the chat. I thought we were just going to be assigned and we had to provide our own spike tape and ready to rock and roll.
I can do that. I'm assuming that you have spike tape at your school. So to me, I don't want to give you an extra expense of going out to buy a spike tape that you don't have because I gave you a color that you don't have. So I don't know. Tell me what you want me to do. Let's just do that.
What colors were you planning on using? Because we appreciate that the colors are all different. That's super.
Red, yellow, blue, and green.
Is it the bright green?
Yes. I also have a teal if you want to confuse people.
No.
It looks a lot like the blue. But yes, I was going to use the almost fluorescent green.
I would like to request that one.
Who am I speaking with?
Juniper.
Juniper.
Of course, Juniper.
You know, so I'm particular.
I do know that. So Juniper and Chris, are you at the same time as Juniper?
He's at the very end.
And where are you?
I'm in the first block on Friday, and he is in the last block on Friday.
Juniper and Chris get chartreuse.
I would request the same color too.
And who is this?
David Poole.
David Poole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Donnie?
Donnie, I will hand you a roll of teal when you arrive.
That sounds good.
And you can
like
see what to do with it. Yeah.
I like to live on the edge a little bit. We'll go with teal.
I like it. Okay. Just shoot me a message in the chat or shoot me a text or DM me or whatever. Just let me know so that I can actually add that to my backstage schedule so I know what people are doing. Am I handing you all the chartreuse or are you buying it yourself?
We will bring our own, but I think it's handy for you to have it as well.
Oh, I will have it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to buy my own too.
Okay. So just let me know the colors and we'll make all this work. The trigger warnings, I know there were suggestions that we do that in the past, and I just got back from South Carolina, Thespians, and they were doing that there. So I would like to go ahead and get that information so it can be included. Now, having said all that, besides trying to figure out where you all are going to park and how much it's going to cost you, what else can I answer for you today? Spike tape of many colors. Pete, I thought that was Joe asking me that. So, no, you cannot. Buying myself, but in case I forget, I'd like to get from you, okay? And can Watauga have white spike tape? You can, Sarah, but I am planning to tape everything backstage with white. But there should be no white on stage other than that.
Roger
so is that what you want to do?
We'll take whatever you got.
Okay, there's a dark purple. No, okay. We got it.
And will the sound technician be in the house?
Yes.
Sweet.
Sound and lights are set up beside each other at the back of the house in a little enclosure. It's an open enclosure. I mean, it's just like a wall around it. And you are allowed to bring your own headsets. We should find out if there is any interference with anything during the tech period. It has not been a problem in the past. And the other question that had scrolled way back, your lighting technician can certainly call the cues themselves from beside the union operator. Or the stage manager can call them from backstage. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Am I missing something with cue sheet? Is it just something we provide, or do you have a link? There is a link for the cue sheet. I'm not sure where it is, but I will send you that link to that document, Donnie. Donnie, send cue sheet. Have I missed anything as this scrolls down?
And will the board operator tell the student how they want it called? Do they want to stand by like Q3, go like Q3, stand by like Q4, go like Q4? Or do they have, will it matter?
Yeah, I think that's we can work that out on site with them. I'm hoping it's the same light board operator both days and for the whole day. But of course, there's no guarantee of that. So, yeah, I would think that they would like something of that sort.
I just wanted to clarify for mine, because I had my student light board operator had a conflict come up and isn't able to come with us.
Yeah,
Would it be okay for like myself or my assistant director to be the one in the booth?
yes, there's nothing in our regulations that says it has to be a student.
Okay, thank you.
We have a stunt in our show. To whom do we need to show that? Is this a safety question, Sarah? That we want to make sure that no one is going to hurt themselves?
Right on. We showed it to, that's what we did beforehand. We showed it to everybody at NCTC. I think I can send you a link to what it looks like, and it's a modified version of the video, but I can show it to you online. But would we need to show that to you beforehand?
No.
We can show it to you when we're there.
Yep.
Perfect. I'll send you a link if you want to see it.
Sure. I have grading to do, so something that takes away from that would be wonderful. Procrastination cleaning. Any other questions?
Yes. I have a question. This is follow-up for from last meeting about space being in between the boxes upstage and whether or not we're going to be able to call for the upstage blackout curtain to fly out in the middle of our show.
Yes, we should be able to do that. As far as space between the blocks, I'm trying to put no 10 by 10 blocks upstage.
Okay,
because that would allow people to use the site, which a number of people want to do.
Okay.
So I don't imagine that's a problem. I think there is also one company that wants to use rear projection. So yeah, I'm trying to keep that upstage area clear.
Okay, great. And can you tell me do we know what side of the stage the fly operator is going to be on?
Stage right. That's where all the line sets are.
Great. Thank you.
Sheriff, as it relates to that upstage curtain, are we still loading in and loading out from either stage left or stage right? Is that correct?
That's fine with me. My concern with the load in and load out is the time to clear the stage, since we are not doing a public adjudication now. So we're really only having 10 minutes between shows instead of 15. And I want to make sure that the show that is moving on deck has time to set up the way they need it. So I'm particularly concerned about the strike to the freight elevator.
So as soon as we call clear, we would immediately move back across the stage to the freight elevator if we have to clear to left and right at the same time.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sheriff, have you seen that freight elevator in action?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Is it speedy, super slow? What?
Let's see, Beth, this was something that made Jamie laugh when I said, I need to time the elevator.
Yeah.
And he said, why? I said, because someone is going to ask me. And
Yeah.
it was about 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it's not slow at all.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Of course.
And what side of the stage is the elevator on?
Stage left, upstage left. And it is a 10 by 10 by 30 rectangular cylinder. So you could take your semi and just, if you back up really fast and slam on brakes, probably unload everything directly into the elevator.
For our tech time, will we be going from the elevator to the stage? Like, where will we be at the beginning when you say go on our tech time?
I've built in 5 minutes between the tech times to allow you to move to your on deck position.
Okay.
If you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you can move from your box right onto the stage. Or if we are running late, you can move from the elevator right onto the stage.
So we'll have time to go from our elevator, as long as it's not more than 5 minutes, to go from our elevator to the box before our tech time starts?
Yeah, because you're going to actually load in much earlier.
Oh, great.
You're loading in like, I think the first show loads in an hour before their tech time. So they're all staggered. So you should have plenty of time to load in.
Okay, great. So we
to
should
the
all
box.
load it in into the box. Then we're called for our tech time. Our tech time starts and we do what we do.
Correct.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Juniper, specifically, it's 20 minutes from set truck to elevator to 10 by 10, then another 20 minutes from out of 10 by 10 to spike to back to 10 by 10, and then 10 minutes to come out of the box to be ready for your go.
So we have 20 minutes. Thank you.
To unload into your box.
That's great. Wonderful.
Yeah, changing the format to 3 blocks instead of 2 opened up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. That is awesome. That is more in line with what our state does.
Good. You know how to reach me. Please do if you have questions. I'm generally on my phone and able to answer messages as soon as they pop up. Unless I'm in class. So, are there any other questions before I turn it back over to Beth to hang up?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Dirk. I do want to make sure I clarify this. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I want to go ahead and reiterate. The clear bag rule does not apply to us. So just remember that. If you're part of the festival, it's not applying to you. It's only applying to those who are coming to watch the show. So even if your performance is not until Friday and you want to come and see shows on Thursday, that's fine. You're not bringing a book bag worth of stuff with you, but I'm just saying, just be mindful of that. I just want to make sure I'm covering that. If you have parents or chaperones that are attending, coming with you to the convention, and they do have children, and because this conversation came up from Jerf telling me was that some of your parents are having questions about how old can their child attend with them. We're asking that if they're from the ages of 0 to 13, that they're okay to come to the convention, come to the festival. What we're asking is that no child that is not a part of your show can come backstage. So if that child is not performing, they cannot come backstage. So even if that parent, for instance, has a child that's 7 years old, somebody else has to watch that child while the parent is backstage. I just want to make sure I clarify that because I don't want a situation to happen and a child get hurt or gets lost or something like that backstage because the parent is trying to help another school load in their show or load out their show. So please just remind your parents that we're not allowing anybody who is not participating in the festival, performing in the festival, working in the festival, be backstage. Okay.
So I have a question then, Beth. If JERF needs chaperones to unload the freight elevator while we are in our response, how do we mitigate that? If
The chaperones
people
can be backstage. We're asking that their child not be with them. So their child's got to be with somebody else. That's what we're saying. They can't be
Okay, thank you.
backstage. Yeah, they just can't be backstage. Is that everybody got that? Okay, cool. All right, so that was the last thing I wanted to make sure I address. And just tell everybody to buy tickets because tickets are on the block tickets are on Ludus. It's already up available. If you have a pass to the convention, you have access to the convention center, to the exhibit hall. And this goes for even your chaperones. They have access to the convention hall, other festivals if they want to go to the Lyric. I mean, if they want to go to the Lewis Museum, or if they want to go back to the convention center and the hotels to watch festivals, they have access to that because their pass gives them the pass to be able to go attend those other festivals. So after you finish performing, you are free to enjoy the rest of the convention. So just remember that you are not just performing in the festival, you also get to enjoy some of the benefits of the convention. But outside of that, I have nothing else to say. Jack, do you have anything to say to the people?
I do have a question about Wednesday.
You're muted, Jack. Oh, go ahead, Jennifer.
During the pizza party on Wednesday, will we have an opportunity, JERF, to tour the facility?
No, you will not have an opportunity to tour the facility.
We will not?
Okay. No. On Wednesday, we have the Theater for Youth Festival, and that's an all-day thing. And then after the Theater for Youth Festival, we are doing the pizza panel discussion, which is going to be 45 minutes of a panel of the Norwegian and Dollywood talking to you, and getting your kids to be excited if they were interested after graduation to either be a part of one of their cruise lines, and then also or theme parks, and then also after that, then we'll do the pizza party, and then we'll go straight into studios, and after that, Jerf and I and our tech team will be going through the entire building to try to set it up for the secondary festival, so we will not have time to do a tour.
Okay, great.
Hey, we're looking forward to everyone being in Baltimore. We'll see you there.
All right, everybody, have a lovely evening, and I'll see y'all in exactly 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.